Oh, crap. Hello. Thank you. Sorry. I am trying to change this camera around. Hello. Good afternoon. Oh my gosh. Um, Hello guys. How's it going? Ah, hi guys. Hey. Hello. Hi guys. All right. Hey, I bet you guys are wondering what is she going to talk about? If you can hear me, let me know. Yep, you should be able to hear me. All right, so hold on. I'm going to add somebody. How's everybody doing tonight? Hey.
Howdy, howdy.
Hey, we got it to work.
Yes, and my lighting is good tonight, so this is excellent.
Yes, perfect. And good Wi-Fi?
I turned mine off on purpose because it seems like sometimes when I put it on, it's a little hormonal. Have you tagged a bunch of people or what did you do?
I tagged Brian.
Okay. Um, if you want to, I'm going to do a few people real quick so we get everybody on. I'm really, really excited to do this with you tonight. Um, I,
Yes.
I know we've been like having some amazing success recently with this amazing product, and it's going to be great to be able to share stories. And if there's anybody else that you want on here, this would be the time to do it because I'm doing it real quick on my end.
Okay.
I'm just tagging some people
Hmm.
in the comments real quick.
Oh,
Um,
can you can tag people at while you're talking?
that's what I'm doing in the comments. Yeah, I've got massive skills. No, just kidding. more like
Sweet.
massive practice. Um, but yeah, so this is going to be great. So I put some on. The rest of them can kind of figure it out. Okay,
Yes.
so I'm going to swipe off those. Okay. So why don't you start, and I'll just follow your lead.
Okay, hey guys, thank you for joining this evening. I don't know if it's warm or sunny or cold where you are at, but we're going to talk about all things happy because I like to talk about happy things. It makes me happy. And we have Shelby Johnston, my sweet, sweet dear friend, on the call as well. I hope everybody can hear us. I don't use these headphones too often.
I can hear you great.
Um, Okay, yay, it's working. So I was thinking that we should talk about what's been going on in our life in the last month. What do you think?
I think that's great because it's been so phenomenal. I mean, I can hardly contain myself. Um,
No,
so do you want to be the one asking questions or the other way around? Because it'd be easier just if we kind of identify how you want to get going since this is your Facebook
okay.
page.
Yes, I can ask some questions. I got some questions. I do. They're on the
Okay.
computer.
Okay, that's fine.
Um, so Shelby, tell me, I don't know if people are popping on and off of how we met. Do you remember how we met?
Yeah, we were in another company actually, and we were
Mm-hmm.
at one of the events, and you came up to me afterwards, and because we had to tell our story on stage about our house fire and stuff, and I think that was just anybody that has to go through something like that obviously can be um, the story is inspiring if you just as long as you survive, right? You get something like
Right.
that and you make it out. That's a great thing. So we met there and been friends ever since, really.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right. And I was like, man, I gotta follow this chick because she is awesome. And I thought you're doing great things, so I knew I needed to follow your lead. And then the beginning of last month, when I seen where you were like doing doing another company, I was like, no way, because there's just no way you would, leave. And I was so excited to learn about your new opportunity. And I am so glad I did because it's changing lives. Oh
Yep.
my gosh.
Yep.
So, okay, so if people don't know what we're talking about, it's a new product that Brian and I have started. We started it 1 month ago today. It was 1 month ago today that we went to Dallas.
Well, let me ask a
Did you
question.
know
Yeah, because I was just thinking about that I'd been on it a month, and it's the first day I've ever been
that?
able to take a full scoop.
Mm-hmm.
um, but would you say that now, I mean, here's the way I see this. Okay, there's a lot of great products out there, and a lot of people, and there's a lot of weight loss products, and there's a lot of weight loss coffees, and I believe they all have good benefits. But what I've learned is you can be as thin as you want, have the greatest skin, have all the money in the world, but if your mind isn't right and you're not happy, it doesn't matter. I mean, all that stuff is really not relevant, because inside you're not feeling a certain way, and a lot of the times we don't even know that there's something that's we're not in here is not right. Not necessarily that you could go to therapy, you could get on antidepressants, you could do all the right things, right? And talk yourself into being happy and talk yourself into all these positive thoughts. But if it's still not working, you got to ask yourself why. And so when this product landed in my lap, I said, you know what? This, depression, anxiety, and like chronic pain, ADD, ADHD, mood problems, irritability, all these things that people are dealing with is an epidemic. And instead of we
Right.
having a natural way of dealing with them, we actually have a lot of medications that people get put on. And I want to address this first, and then you can kind of tell your story on how it's worked for you. But I kind of feel like there's a missing link that we did not know about. I didn't know that our four happy hormones in our brain, if they're not leveled out right, caused all those issues. I didn't know that. And so, you got people that are trying their best every day, getting out of bed, trying one more day, all to just have to start over the next day because nothing is working. How long can a person do that? Like, I had severe anxiety for 2 years, and I felt so bad for anybody that had been dealing with it for 6 years, 5 years, 10 years, and depression too. Like, I was like at the end of my rope, and that's why I was willing to try anything, because it wasn't just situational. It was literally all day, every day.
Right,
And
right.
what I learned through before I ever found out about this product, the doctor tells me I have fibromyalgia, and I just looked at him and I was like, I'm sorry, I just don't. If I refuse to accept that, like, I'm not acknowledging what you just said. And through all my research, it said fibromyalgia. They've linked it back to trauma and infection. Well, then when this product came in my lap, I was like, oh my gosh, like, your happy hormones get reduced and lowered when you do not have the right levels, right? It's based on a trauma, an infection, PTSD. All those things can
Right.
trigger those levels to be lowered. Even addiction can do
Mm-hmm.
that, right? Because when you're using something, it synthetically gives you a happy feeling. And then you actually
Right.
inadvertently kill all your natural hormones, happy hormones. And so it's
Right.
very depleted at that point. So through all my research, trying to figure out this whole fibromyalgia stuff, is when I figured out that, like, it was based on a trauma or an infection. So when this product came across my lap, it was like an instant light just went off in my head, and all that stuff that I had been searching and researching kind of like came together, and every piece of the puzzle just started fitting perfectly. And I was like, that's it. And I hadn't even tried the product yet, and I was like, I need this. I want to do this. I want to save other people. I want to, suicide's up 33%. I mean, this is a big deal. The mental health issues, the emotional well-being of ourselves is a big deal. But little did I know that all those issues that were happening up here that were depleted caused physical symptoms too. Chronic
Right.
pain, right? I mean, fatigue. There's a whole list of them. So
Yep. Yep.
for me, the first day I used the product, I instantly felt better. I was less anxious. And for the last 5 weeks I've been on it, I have had like the calmest, peaceful feeling. Like, it's like this uh, namaste, maybe, just very calm. Just, I
Right,
feel
right,
like at peace with everything. That doesn't mean it takes away all our problems, right? I mean, we're still going to have them,
right.
but you can come at them with a more clear, logical, less emotional,
Hmm.
way of dealing with it. So how has it helped you? What have you noticed? And even with Brian and people that maybe that you've had try it.
Right. Okay, so I'll start off with me. For me, because I'm generally more of a happier person, right? I didn't think I had anxiousness or depression at all. But what I have noticed, like the first week, I was like, I felt the appetite control big time. And I felt, so the appetite control, and I just wasn't hungry. And I also was able to, the sugar control, right? Sugar cravings and carb
Okay.
cravings was big because I like my chocolate. Everybody knows that probably by now. So I noticed that right off the bat. And then I noticed that my pain was a whole lot less because I have hip issue since I was running marathons a couple of years ago, around 2012. And it just flares up. I've done many things like pain management to steroid shots to physical therapy to chiropractic care, and
Wow.
it still will bother me. And so we started working out again, and because the doctors told me just don't work out, then it won't hurt you as bad, which is true. So that's why I kind of stopped working out. It doesn't flare up as bad if I don't work out, which who wants to live a life like that, right?
Right.
So once we started working out, I was popping the leave a whole lot more. So the first week, I noticed that my pain's not as bad. And I was like, this might have something to do with it. Then I started sleeping a whole lot better because usually I'll just toss and turn, especially if my hip is bothering me. I'll get up, go during the night and just go get on the couch, try to get comfortable. And I do it to myself. I know they said just don't work out, it'll be less pain, but I refuse to stop working out. And it's not, I don't work out every day, one or two or three times a week, but that's just enough to aggravate it and piss it off. So I was just like, okay. So when I noticed the pain was starting to be less, and we ramped up our workouts since January, and I was like, all right, I'm out of pain. And then I have realized that I'm not so, no, I don't, yeah, I say yell at the boys, but we have a two-story, so I'm always constantly yelling towards them and to them to get them downstairs. And I'm not doing that as much. And I just realized that the other day. I'm like, I'm not yelling as much. So I have to be more calm. I still very happy. I don't feel like it, because I don't have depression or anxiety, but I do notice that I'm not yelling as much.
Cool. That's very good. So you don't get as agitated or by something or just, um,
Yeah, that's the word, agitated.
yeah, I would agree with
And
that.
so,
Very calm.
yeah. And so then, but it's been a complete different story for Brian. I mean, right off the bat, he noticed the appetite control. And so, his post today, he's lost 15 pounds. Now,
On this
yeah,
product?
yes, on this
Oh,
product.
wow. I didn't know that. He hasn't shared anything like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't realize it would because he had struggled with the last about 15 pounds. And he was at 215, 216, 217 for a very long time.
Okay.
And he couldn't get it off. And even though we're doing keto and, started working out, it still wasn't coming off. And so no matter how many calories, he watched his calories or whatever. And so once he started the coffee, the first week, he noticed it was coming off. And he's like,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Awesome.
And
Awesome.
so that's a big thing. So now he just hit under 200. So he's like, sweet Jesus, this is awesome.
And weight loss is just a side effect. It's not even the
Right,
point of our product, really. But what happens is
right.
our happy hormones get in line, right? They
Hmm.
get the way they're supposed to, they level out, and then that's just a byproduct of it.
Right. And so then he said he felt it pretty off, pretty soon of the stress and anxiety. Like he definitely felt a lot less stressed and a whole lot more calm, especially at work.
Wow. So, because he has a pretty
Yeah.
demanding job, and I'm sure that
Hmm.
creates a lot of stress levels.
Yeah, it does. It does. And so he's able to handle it a whole lot more. And especially um, when he notices when he doesn't take our happy pill. He notices
The
that if
difference.
he's forgotten it, he's like, because one day he forgot it and he goes, I can tell a difference.
That's awesome. So I will say that
Hmm.
my 11-year-old uses the chocolate. So we have a coffee and a chocolate, and the chocolate is so good. It's like a rich taste. It's not like watered down, or it doesn't have like an aftertaste. But he
Hmm.
loves it, and he'll drink that in the morning and then take a pill after. And the reason he did is because normally he's a very happy child, very motivated, and he was not. There was some things going on in the family, and for the last
Hmm.
9 months, like I couldn't get him to do anything. He didn't want to come out of his room. He didn't want to go to a friend's house. He didn't want to run like he likes to. He didn't want to play basketball. I mean, that's a problem, you know.
Oh yeah.
And
Yep.
after you let something like that go too long, right? Then it just gets worse and worse and worse. But at the time, nobody had anything. Now we have
Right.
something.
Right.
Um,
And all natural. I mean, who can take an all natural product that's helping with depression and anxiety?
eh,
Not many people.
no, in fact, when you go to the doctors and you get the prescriptions, they actually cause other problems. And even yesterday, I learned that out of three people that are on antidepressants still are depressed. So you're
That's
putting all those bad
crazy.
chemicals in your body, and it's not working.
Right.
Um, so one thing that was really for me was life changing was when I first got in the company. I ironically happened to be getting in when the company had an event in Dallas. It was like what, like
Hmm.
maybe a week and a half after I had joined. The next
Hmm.
thing I know, I'm flying to Dallas and I'm pulling you along with me, you and Brian,
Right.
and
Right.
several other people came with us. And
Yeah.
for me, the most pivotal point for me was all of the people that had walked or had been on at stage telling their stories of PTSD, and some people who couldn't even drive across the bridge. And was it New York, right?
Hmm.
That had
I believe
PTSD.
so.
Yep, PTSD so bad they couldn't go across the bridge, and now not only can they do that, but now they're sitting on stage in front of a bunch of people talking.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
and very high, not very functioning anxiety. People that had anxiety, and so I'm sitting there and getting emotional and thinking, there are so many people that suffer, and what an opportunity to be able to let someone try something that is going to solve that problem, at
Yep.
least eliminate a majority of the feelings they're having, right? At least give them
Right.
a better quality of life.
Hmm.
I need to say this really quick. We are not making any medical claims. This is not FDA
Nope.
approved. We're just telling our own personal stories. But I believe this product to be cutting edge. And I want to throw this little tidbit in there real quick. When the guy that I was following, actually, he'd added me as a friend, and I kind of ignored it for months. I tried to ignore it for months, anyways, but it was almost impossible. When the team is doing 1 million in sales in 3 months, it's
That's
a good
huge.
product, because
Yep.
and
Yep.
the whole basis of the product is people just sharing how great it works.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Well, and when I seen that it helps with depression and anxiety, and I have a mother and a father that has PTSD, a mother that is severely depression, has a ton of depression, stopped driving over 20 plus years ago because
Wow.
of anxiety. Yeah, I mean, I got married. She stopped driving right before I got married, so we've been married almost 22 years, so it's at least been that long.
Wow.
And she just can't do it. So I knew that if this, and then going to Dallas and hearing some of those stories about how um, debilitating their depression was, it spoke volumes to me because I was like, well, if these people are getting out of depression, and the story about the gentleman that lost a best friend in the Twin Towers in 9/11.
That you could tell it definitely was affecting him.
Yep. and he's not angry at the world anymore. And so I knew that we had to join, because if they were helping with so many people, surely I could too.
It's a
So,
crusade for sure, for sure.
yep, yep. And so I was like, okay, that's it. We have to try these products. We have to do this. If we can at least help one person that has anxiety, depression, pain, then I kind of like feel like I've done my job.
Well, to be a little bit touch on the pain aspect, you know, without going in massive detail, the only reason I started having all these symptoms that they said was fibromyalgia is because I had a tooth infection that really was from like when I was 12. I had a root canal done. They must have like it must have got some kind of bacteria in there and created an infection. 2 years ago, I went in to get like cosmetic work done, and they're like, no, we have to put that on hold. You're getting your tooth removed, and you have a 20-something-year-old infection in there. I had a bone graft from here to here, and basically everything just kind of went downhill from there. My body started just really like getting mad, I guess. That's the way I looked at it. Like it was not functioning normal. I couldn't work out at all. I couldn't stay awake. I had the worst pain all over my body. And I'm pretty tough. Like, so it was really messing with me. And I was very emotional too. Just like everything was emotional. Everything was really bothering me, like really bad. And then the anxiety kicked in too.
Mhm.
So when so the point of this is that not only has it helped with the anxious feeling, but I don't have restless leg anymore. I don't, the pain is about 50% less. So for me,
That's
that was
awesome.
big. But then we have another product, which I want to at some point introduce, but I'm not going to do it tonight. We have another product that I've been using that has changed my whole life. I do it in the morning and night. And I will say this, it's not CBD oil, it's a more pure form of it. And it's the best you can get. You can't get any better than that. And
Right.
I take it in the morning and night now. I've been doing that for about a week and a half. And I feel 10 times better. I can actually move my body and my joints without feeling like I want to cry. So, I don't know, if you had anything else that you wanted to bring up or mention. We do, she does have samples for the
I do. I
product.
do.
And I mean, I will say this about the samples. I want to mention this really quick. Everybody is different. Everybody's hormone levels for their happy hormones. And now we're not, just to clarify, we're not talking about female and male hormones. We're talking about the ones in the brain. Everybody's hormones are different, okay, at different levels based on what they've gone through in their life, okay? So some of you could try this in one day and feel something, okay? Then
Right.
some of you, like you, Amanda, didn't feel anything for like a week. That's
Right.
normal. Don't, just be careful by getting the sample that you just realize that, and we have a really amazing group that we could add you to that will share a ton of stories who people who've been on it way longer than a day that could tell you what you have to
Mm-hmm.
look forward to.
Yep. Yep.
But 1 or 2 days of this is not maybe probably going to change your whole world. Some
Right.
some people have it and some people don't. Give it a full shot. I mean, for me, it was like I hadn't even tried it. I didn't even try a sample. You didn't either.
Mm-mm.
And you drove from Oklahoma to Dallas just in a
Right.
quick second and said, okay, we're going. And
Yeah, because we've seen the vision of the company.
and for me, it was that leap of faith that I took. And I
Hmm.
was so desperate because I was dealing with so many things that I had to try it. We've all tried something, right? But the nice thing about this is there's a 30-day money back guarantee. So if you open the product, if you open it and you're like 5 days into it, you're like, no. So 28 days you're into it, you're like, no. It's a money back guarantee. They stand behind their products.
Right.
So you had nothing to lose. I
Yep.
had nothing to lose. I had everything to gain. And it's the best
Yep.
decision I have ever made. And I probably, seriously, because of everything that I was going through pain wise and anxiety, I probably would pay $1,000 a month for this. It's that you can't put a price on feeling at peace and calm and having no pain. I mean, I don't
Right.
want to say it just takes away all your pain, but when you start
Right. Right.
being able to move like you couldn't before, that's something. And so like I said, Amanda has samples. She can
I
answer all your
do.
questions. But I'll let you kind of end out the meeting.
Yes. Well, I appreciate you jumping on. I mean, I just need to tell the world about this because it's just amazing, and I have some people that a good friend tried the sample. She's like, that was the most powerful cup of coffee I have ever had.
It's a big
And I
bang.
was like, great. Yeah, it's a big bang. And I had forgotten to mention that it also gives you good energy. And that is big because with me having celiac disease, I'm fatigued a lot of the days. Um, and so having something that gives me a natural energy has been such a blessing. And so that in having less pain and being more calm has been awesome. But I appreciate you. I'm excited about our team. You hit several ranks within a month in the company, which is
Only because of you
amazing.
guys and my team. But yes, I'm very excited about where we're all heading for sure.
Right, right. And, I do want to say one thing that if someone is looking for something with additional income, this does make a good side hustle. So I'm just going to throw that out there as well because you never know where someone's at. They may be looking for something. And so I always have to put
I
that
want
out there
to
that
go ahead, finish that sentence, but I wanted to add something before you end then, since you mentioned that.
Oh, I said that so there's always somebody probably looking to make additional money, and I always like to throw that out there because I don't want anybody to miss an opportunity to make some money, and to help better their families.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of households, even a extra 500 to $1,000 a month can completely
Yep,
change someone's world. Um,
yep,
One thing I will say about this, I was thinking about this today. A lot of people I've noticed that have been in these kind of companies, direct sell companies, it's always a great, phenomenal thing when you're like, oh my gosh, I got a big hitter, and you post about how many big hitters are coming over to your company. And I want to brag on the opposite of that because anybody can come here and do this. Anybody can be
right,
a big
yep,
hitter. Meaning, we have a lot of people in this company that have had zero experience. They're stay home moms, they're school teachers, and they're killing it. They're some of the top people in the company. And why? Because all we do is share our experience with the product, let them either try it or buy it, put them in our group, right? Let them see the other
right.
stories, and then that's it. And then,
That's it.
several days a week, we put them on a Zoom to share, and then all they talk about is more stories. They don't talk about money. They don't talk about
Right.
comp plans
Yep.
and all these phenomenal things you have to do in order to be successful. And I think that's intimidating for some people. Everyone always thinks you have to be really good at speaking and really good at
Right.
presentations, and you don't have to do a
Yep.
live like this.
No.
We
Nope.
don't.
You don't.
You've been having great success without a live, but I think this is more about,
Right.
like you said, we don't want to be selfish and keep this product to ourselves. I told
No.
you I could not handle the anxiety every day, and I couldn't imagine someone else going through that. So how fair would that be for me to keep that to myself?
Yep.
That's
Yep.
not right. I mean, if they say no, they
Yep.
say no. But I mean, in my experience, the only time people ever say no is because they've tried so many things, they're just so sick of it and they
They're
don't think it'll
tired of it.
work.
Yep.
But I just challenge you to try one more time. Try
Yep.
one more
Me
time.
too. One
So
more
yeah,
time.
I'm really excited. This is for anybody. This isn't just for the big person who's really good at on stage and speaking. If you can tell someone, "Hey, I feel better because of this, this, and this. You should try it." They buy it. That's it. That's it.
Yep.
That's the beginning and
That's
the
it.
end.
Yep. It's so
So,
simple.
yep.
And it's just sharing a cup of love. I mean, that's what I call it, a cup of
Yeah.
love.
Yeah. It really is about love. I mean,
Hmm.
everybody's at certain places in their life and you can love on them right now where they're at, and then as they're using the product, their levels are going to start getting better and better. And really,
Yep.
you're just getting happier and happier. Really, that's what it comes down
Yep.
to, is about being
It is.
truly happy in here, and then everything else flows after that.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I appreciate you, Shelby, coming on. Enjoy your weekend. I want to thank everybody for joining and watching. It means a lot to me. If I also will say that if you may not desire to drink coffee, that's okay. We do have hot chocolate. Another thing is if you're not interested, but if you know someone that is struggling with depression or anxiety or desire to have some weight loss, please have them get with me because I would love to help them. I'd love to send them a sample.
Yeah, I mean, really, just try it. That's the worst thing that'll happen. Just
Yep.
try it. I mean, we got
Yeah, that's
lots of
it.
it to go around. So, all
Absolutely.
right. Thanks for having me on
All right.
tonight.
Hey, you're
We'll talk to
welcome.
everybody
Thank you so
soon.
much.
See you
All
guys. Bye
right. Bye bye,
bye.
guys.